Okay, so welcome everyone. It is May the 25th, and we're going to be with Albert Einstein today, studying the patterning of the universe, specifically the breath. And let's get right into the meditation, and so you can get a sense of Albert.
Start by relaxing, by sinking into your chair, the floor, the bed, your car seat, wherever you are. Just feel yourself sinking in, bringing all the energy into your beloved sweetheart, feeling that beautiful tri-flame of your core, the blue diamond, the pink diamond, the gold diamond of your divine feminine, your divine self, and the divine masculine, all in perfect balance, all in perfect harmony. And Albert has asked us this morning to work with a beautiful ray of black. And black in the material realm is the presence of all rays, all colors. So often black gets a bad rap. So let's begin. Open your crown, open your heart, open your root, and everything in between. And take a deep, deep breath. Inhale as deeply as you possibly can until your solar plexus is out past your chest. And breathe in black. Breathe in the black of the infinite universe, of the deepest void, of deep, rich black velvet. Feel yourself, wrap yourself in this wonderful black velvet shawl. Cocoon yourself. Breathe in obsidian and Apache tears. Black roses, black tulips. And feel the velvet. And as you fill yourself with the infinity of coal, feel that this separation between your internal space and the external space of all is simply dissolving, as if this very thin membrane that we call skin is simply gone. So it is not that you are leaving your physical body, but that standard sensation of separation between you and all energy has disappeared. And in that infinity of all energy, feel all your aspects, all pieces, emanations of your being, past, present, future, surround you, embrace you in love, no matter what has transpired. The kernel and the core of who you are has never changed, and that is love. So feel that support being sent to you gently, like gentle waves of sound, surrounding you, infusing you, and loving you.
And Allie before yesterday trusted each other here. So in my mind, two things could be true. One, school statistically is
Oh, I forgot to mute everybody. Go out. Okay, I'm gonna have to go. I'll have to go out and mute everybody. Meeting mute all. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we'll go into the slideshow. There we go. Okay, so this is the cover of the slideshow with Albert Einstein, the patterning of the universe. And he says here, all of the universe is patterned on the mother, the father, and the one. So we've got, let's get right into this. And you can see I've made an infinity sign up here, and we'll get into more of that so you can see what that's all about. So he says, and this is a channeling that happened in Florida back in 2015 in September. And I happened to be present when this happened. So it's very dear to my heart, all this information actually. So Albert came in and he said, greetings, I am Albert Einstein, and I thank you for letting this old professor to have some of your time in such an auspicious gathering. And this was in Linda Dillon's house, the channel for the Council of Love, and it's Linda Dillon channeling. And he continued on, he said, you know, I continue to do my work as each of you do, and part of this has been the exploration and trying to assist you and all of humanity to understand the meaning of dimensional reality. And then he talked to Joanne right in the circle, dearest Joanne. There was about 33 of us there. This is the cliff notes for physicists, and I will attempt to make this as clear as my teacher, Sanat Kumara, has made the universal laws clear, because it is essential for you to understand, particularly during this time of change, the nature of how things work. So you can see I've colored some of the words different colors. So the nature of how things work tends to relate to love, and love is emerald green. Time of change. Change is one of the mother's attributes, and she is basically blue. She really associates with blue, with the water energy. Can you still hear me all right? And yeah, there was just a little complication with the sound. Now, if only I had a chalkboard. That was quite funny when he said that. But But I will not make this discussion with you full of complicated formulas, for my aim is to make this simple, because if you cannot make it simple, as my beloved Raj has taught me, then you miss the point, and more importantly, you miss the people. And I totally agree. If it's not simple, I lose focus. So the more simple, the better. So I do not come to create theoretical discussion, but rather an explanation that is workable and useful to you who are the founders, the leaders, the wayshowers, the regridders, the repatterners of this beloved planet that we have all inhabited at one time or another. Some of you are very persistent and insist on coming again and again and again. For this, I truly admire you, because it is not always easy. In simplicity, there is elegance, and in elegance, there is brilliance, and in brilliance, there is joy. And when we learned about joy with Archangel Gabriel, she taught us it was about really being in gratitude for purpose. And it is that golden color. There's actually two colors to joy, but we'll get into that a bit later. I wish to explain what I've come to understand in terms of depth dimensions and the functioning of not only your sacred beings, your physical, beautiful physical vessels, but the entire universe. So he does, in this channeling, get into the 13 chakras, and she teaches how to breathe in and out of them. And it is really fascinating, but we'll do that next week. So moving on, he says, now I could speak to you about the omniverse or the multiverse, but for this day, we will restrict our discussion to this universe. But know what I say applies everywhere. And is that not a huge statement for a little professor to make? But it is not my supposition, it is my understandings that I come to share now. All of the universe is patterned on the mother, the father, and the one. Now, you would think that this is very self-evident, but I know that I have been surprised, particularly in science, in mathematics, in physics, in the entire field, even in philosophy, how often this very fact has been ignored. It is not a theorem, it is not a theory, it is a standalone truth. And when you look at the tri-flame, the pink and the silver, the pink flame pretty much is a standalone, and the blue and the yellow spin around it. And truth is, there is a bit of silver flame in the pink, in the tri-flame. So, and truth is silver. So then he goes on, he says, your entire universe is patterned on the mother. Beloved ones, you have given me the perfect intro, Janine, and that was another lady that was present, by speaking about the wind, because the entire planet, the universe, the galaxy is also patterned on the breath. So let us start there. I have a lot to say. Everything that is within you is a reflection of the divine sacred mother. Okay, so let's move on. And he says, and this is quite important, the in-breath is the inhalation. And so this is the mother's movement of the breath. So I've put colors to this, so hopefully it will be easier to understand. So the colors of blue are hope, forgiveness, peace, serenity. So think that we're automatically breathing this in, even if we don't really understand it. The conjoining, the sacred union of the father to the mother is the moment of creation. So I've got some more like images to help you understand this. Okay, so, and Albert says, I've spoken to you many times about still point, and I come to harp on it again today. Between the in-breath and the out-breath, no matter how minuscule, there is that moment of still point. And in that moment, that nanosecond is the implosion and explosion, the formulation of creation. So blue, the blue of the mother and the golden yellow of the father, when you combine those two colors, it makes green. And that is the color of love. So the out breath, when you have joined, the breath has joined, the mother blue has joined in that nanosecond, that still point with the Father, because the Father is the stillness, there is a creation, a formulation of creation. And the out breath, the movement of the mother, her exhalation is also creation. So I did a bit of research about this. Creation is blue and it is yellow. So originally I thought creation was like, just from what I had been studying, was yellow, but it's also the mother energy. So that makes sense. The mother is creation. So Steve will definitely have something to say about this. But just know, like, the in-breath also is a creation. The out-breath, it is the exhalation, not only of her desire, but of all the energy. If you can fathom this, all the energy that is required to create whatever you can think of and far beyond, all life follows this pattern. So it's the in-breath, the still point that can be just a nanosecond, and the out breath. But the in breath combined with the creation of the still point actually creates love within the body, and we're sending out love all the time, but we're just not conscious as we could be. So the more we really get this, the better, that the breath is a conscious creation every breath. Okay, so moving on, and I will post this on my site too, so you can see it if you want to go back and look at it. Okay, so then this is a little more of an explanation about this. So between the in-breath and the out-breath, the implosion and explosion, the formulation of creation, there is that moment of still point. The out-breath of the mother, her exhalation, is creation. So then I made this infinity sign because the breath is like an infinity. So the in-breath, and then the still point, the yellow flame, and the out-breath of love. So the more conscious we are that we're breathing out love every breath, this is like amazing. Okay, so over here, a little bit more of an explanation. When you are inhaling, you are bringing in life force. You are literally claiming and ingesting into your very core the energy of that divine pattern of love, of the mother and humanity. Humanity has been inhaling it mixed with much illusion for a long time, but you cannot inhale without also inhaling the divine pattern of the mother. So even with the mayhem, the chaos, the dissonance, the resistance, the reluctance, you've all been inhaling the divine mother. When you exhale, when that energy has merged and conjoined with your sacred self, in the exhale is the blended expression of the creation that you bring forth of you with the pattern of the mother into the reality that you exist in. And it is certainly no longer that old third. So the old third dimension with all the false grids, many of them have been cleaned up. So, and the more conscious we are that we're breathing out love every breath, we're breathing in the pattern of the mother with the still point, we're breathing out beautiful love. This is wonderful for more cleanup. When you exhale not only into the renewed third dimension of physicality, you are exhaling to the fullness of your planet, of your universe, of the galaxies, of the multiverse, of the omniverse. But you're also exhaling your expression of divinity. And in that, you are sending the mother's, father's love out throughout, but you are also sending yours. In the exhale, you are sharing the essence of who you are all over the planet. So that's why I included the tri-flame within the heart chakra. So you can see there's the mother energy and the father energy, and there's the pink of self right in the middle. So you would think the pink would be the still point, but the still point, because the father is the stillness, is the energy of the father is very still. So there is a still point within the golden yellow to create the love with the blue. So, but moving on, then there's more here. Okay, so this is This helps us understand the pink of the triflame. The quality of joy is gold, but the frequency of joy is actually the pink in the middle. So frequency is more of a stillness, whereas a vibration, a quality is more the movement. So joy is who we are, who you are. So you can see it's the gold and the pink. You are the substance of love, so the mother substance of love and the matter of joy. You are the embodiment of that essence, and joy is the still point between the masculine and the feminine. So there you go. That pink is a type of still point as well. And I found that when I looked back on the definition of joy, and it was Archangel Gabriel that said that joy is the still point between the masculine and the feminine. So just know there's different points within the heart that we can use as a still point. Okay, you individually and collectively are in the same pattern. There are many things that you can do without, but you do not do without breathing. It is fundamental to your existence. All life, the grass, the trees, the elementals, the fairies, the water, the sky, Gaia herself, the gases that you know, the rocks, they all breathe. Now, do they breathe in the same rhythm as you do? No, but do not think, for example, that rocks do not breathe. That is hard-headed of you, not them. And there was quite a big laugh when he said that, because I don't think we were thinking of rocks as breathing. He says, how do you think that crystals grow? They are breathing, they are absorbing the atmosphere. They are living creatures, as much as the rock on any mountain face. And you see the mountains rise up, not only because of the tectonic plates, and you see them begin to disintegrate. You have many, many wonderful science theories and many accurate theories about how this occurs, but it is the breath. Now think of this in terms of what the channel has begun to explain or tried to explain yesterday. When you think of a black hole, that is your in-breath. You are bringing in all your energy and you're allowing it to collapse within you and do what it has need to do, feed your cells. And we will talk about the molecular chains as well. Your exhale is not simply to get rid of gases, but it is also for you to create out into the world. It is the biggest action you ever take. And so it is important to not only follow your breath, but follow your words and the sounds that you create. If you think of the collective of humanity and where you are at this momentous time of change, humanity has been, might I say, stuck in the in-breath for a very long time. Think of it in this way, and it is neither good nor bad, positive or negative. Yes, I forget the language that these light workers use. I tend to say good and bad. So it is neither good nor bad, but when you think of the in-breath, you're bringing in the energy and it is fixed. Think of it as being brought in, holding it in some form of either being stuck by the old paradigms of lack or limitation or fear. Oh, there are so many. And the out breath of creation is fluid. And now these are equal components. And that's why I did this infinity sign at the bottom. So the in breath and the out breath are equal. And when he says up there, follow your words and the sounds that you create, that's actually really important because our languaging helps us understand where we are stuck, what we're saying. And I know with myself, with the experiences that I've had, that sometimes I'll catch myself holding my breath, like not even realizing it, I'm just holding my breath. And that's a form of an experience that I still need to work on, to let go, to deeper forgiveness, deeper coming to gratitude, deeper non-judgment of. If you catch yourself holding your breath, it's a good indication there's something more to let go. Okay, so then he says, I've begun this lecture years ago by telling you about the infinity that is the basis of so much of creation. It is the ebb and flow of creation. So it is the intake the still point, the output, the still point, the input. You get my meaning. Now, humanity, which includes you, has been stuck in the in-breath for a very long time. Might I suggest to you for thousands and thousands of years. Now you say to me, Professor, how can that be? We've been breathing the whole time. Well, I would suggest to you on this side, us looking at you, we've been waiting for you to exhale for a long time, and you are about to do so. And I would suggest to several of you that it will create a mighty wind of change. So you have breathed in, and you have been consciously and unconsciously in the still point, sometimes frozen in fear, but even the polar ice caps are thawing. So your heart is thawing, and you are preparing as a collective to exhale and to begin this new true cycle of creation in the patterning of the mother, in the patterning of the father and mother. And it's interesting, he talked about the polar ice caps thawing, because we have been, lots of the messages, we've heard the planet is to become more temperate. So the more temperate we are to ourselves within, more loving we are, would make sense that the polar ice caps would thaw and the planet would become more temperate. And then he says, now let me speak as an aside, and you know your patience is required. And my students used to become quite impatient with me because I would wander all over, but this is important. In the creation of the mother, there has been the creation of black holes and white holes. This is part of her creation. Just as there are portals, chakras within you, there are chakras, as you know, upon your beloved Gaia and my beloved Gaia, but there are portals throughout, naturally occurring. And then over time, there have been black holes and white holes that have been, shall we say, manufactured, manipulated, not in the sense that you would think of manipulation, but engineered. And then he asked Archangel Michael if it's Halion engineering. And Michael says, yes. So, and if you remember the color of Halion, it was the mother's blue and the green. So it's interesting that we're looking at the breath with the blue and the green. So there are these portals by which you may travel and create and gather energy, both through the process of passage and the still point, to go interdimensionally or from galaxy to galaxy. This is something that your current scientists are simply beginning to really comprehend. It is called intradimensional transit, but we are not here to talk about space travel, although I will tell you it's a delightful subject. Okay, so then moving on. Now the availability of the true purpose of these white and black holes have not been fully available to humanity because humanity has not been ready. Now you are coming to a place where you are understanding the nature of your very being. I do not simply speak of the science of your construction, of your engineering, but also your divine self, because science, like universal law, is merely an explanation of the magnificent wonder of the mother's design, and that has been forgotten. It was forgotten long ago. It was forgotten off planet in Galatea. It was forgotten in Atlantis, and it is forgotten on this planet right now. You are not the voices crying in the wilderness. Oh, I feel like I'm going to cry. You are the voices of sanity. And that is why I speak to you, because you know the importance of the fabrication of all existence is love. Yes. Okay. It's very emotional. Okay, so then, oh, this is Albert's very simple method of restoring everything back to the original plan. And he uses the breath and he says, breathe into, so use the blue and breathe the blue in. And if you can feel what's not of love on planet, and say in the still point place, restore the original plan and breathe out. And he says, then what you are doing is exactly that, restoring the true divine pattern, the divinity of what it truly is. So it's very simple. I was practicing it today. It's just using the breath, breathing in, finding the still point, saying within, restore the original plan, and breathe out. And you can do it for all kinds of situations, from self to anything on planet that we are working on to restore it to the original plan. It's funny, I couldn't find an infinity sign, so I kind of made this one up, but you can see that's the in breath. And then it goes through the still point, and there's the out breath, and it goes out, and the energy goes out. Okay. All right, and that's the end. And the Divine Mother, she says, I want you to know of my never-ending love. I'm not a distant mother, I'm with you. So she's always with us in that energy of the blue, in the creation with the blue, in the love, in the emerald. The Divine Mother is everything. And the Divine Father tends to be the yellow energy, the golden yellow. And yeah, combine the blue and the yellow, it creates the green. So yes, I love that. Breathe into what is not of love on planet and say, restore the original plan, and breathe out. And we're restoring the true divine pattern, the divinity of what it truly is. Okay, so that ends that. And we'll just go right back to here. Okay, wow. Oh, it didn't take too long.
Well done.
Kathleen,
Yes.
you said something about I would like this meditation.
Mhm.
I'm kind of confused on what you meant by that.
Oh, the breathing exercise, because it's so simple. When you breathe in the blue, bring it to the still point, restore the original plan, and breathe it out. And it's literally a creation to help bring the planet back to original purity.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so simple. I was practicing it today, and it just like, there's so many things we're working on here, from self to, oh my gosh, I mean, there's just so many things. And so you can use that for anything that you feel is out of alignment.
Cool.
Kathleen, that makes so much sense to me about the holding your breath, like that kind of, breathing in, and that stress and that fear is always when you're either not breathing at all, or just, that not breathing out, that no exhale. I mean, I think I've lived half my life like that.
Absolutely. I think most of us have, and we don't even realize we're doing it. So
No, yeah, you don't realize you're not even breathing because you're in, this state of whatever, anger or stress or fear or, it's
Yeah.
makes so much sense.
oh, good. Yeah. So the more conscious we are of the breath, wow. And then just even understanding those colors that are connected to it. The in-breath is the mother. We're literally breathing in the mother without realizing it. And then that still point, that just that nanosecond, or however long, it can be much longer than that, depending on if you're doing breath work, is the father energy. And then that's the combination, the blue and the yellow, and we're automatically breathing out love. Like we're doing it all the time. We just don't realize it.
Makes so much sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And then if you look at that tri-flame and the pink is in the middle, the frequency of joy is between the masculine and the feminine. So that's us, that's the self. So you've got your mother energy, you've got your father energy within in the tri-flame, and that pink flame is a frequency of joy, which is like another still point. So your self is a still point as well. It's so cool.
Amazing.
Did you want to get the kids?
I was thinking you'd have a lot to say, Steve, about the mother and creation and all that.
Sure. Do you want me to say a bit?
Sure.
Okay, another way did you mention creation, preservation, transformation?
No, because I've never used those words.
Okay,
Mhm.
so the breath can be seen as creation, preservation, transformation. So creation on the in-breath, preservation, and then the expulsion of the breath is sending the love out, so transformation. But there are various representations of God, for instance, which also have this pattern of preservation, creation, preservation, and transformation. So do people know what the trimurti is?
Nope.
Trimurti means three bodies, three people. And it is used to refer to the trimurti, the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, right? So Brahma is the god of creation, Vishnu is god of preservation, and Shiva is the god of transformation. There is the patterning of the mother there as well, right? And if you look at Om, Om is a sine wave like this.
Mhm.
And of course, the up wave, the upper part of the wave is Akar is creation. Ukar at the top is preservation, and Akar, Ukar, Makar. And Makar at the end is transformation. So there it is in the divine breath, you know, the universal creative vibration.
Mhm.
And let's see, where else is it? The Hindus talk a lot about the forces, the divine forces that bring things into being, etc. And they are called the gunas. And the gunas are Rajas, Sattva, and Tamas. And Rajas is the guna of creation. And Sattva is the guna of preservation. And Tamas is the guna of transformation. So again, there's another way of talking about the patterning of the mother. You know, this creation, everything in the material domain, because we're only talking about the material domain, right? The father is supposedly still in the material domain, although he's not still in the transcendental domain. But so we're only talking about the mother's domain, and everywhere in that domain, when we study various spiritual traditions, we find this same division into whether it's gods or forces or whatever, into creation, preservation, transformation. And, but again, only in the material domain. This is all the mother's domain of creation, universes, etc.
Mhm.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and it does correlate to the blue, like the mother energy of the blue is creation, like you said. You're talking about the mother all the whole time there. And then we were talking about the still point being the father energy, the stillness. That, and then the out breath being the love. So, and you call that transformation. Yeah, so we're literally transforming within and without with that emerald green.
Yeah, if we're drawing the love up from our heart and just being with it for a moment, or swishing it around or whatever, and then sending it out, we are definitely an engine of transformation by doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful.
And
Thank you.
Steve, the gunas, I think, relates to the energy too, right? Because tamas, the transformation is more of a movement energy, right? Whereas I think one of them, Rajas or Sattva, is more of a still energy, I believe.
Well, Rajas is the energy, is the active.
Oh, that one's the active. Okay.
Rajas is the Rajasic personality is very busy.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
that's the mother energy too. The mother
Okay.
is very that's the mother in us. We're the active ones. So, and the father energy is more still, but it doesn't matter. Everybody carries it. So we all carry mother and father energy within the triflame.
Right. So Sattva, the purity, that's
Yeah.
the still one.
Still. Okay.
And actually, Thomas is lethargy.
Oh, I had it backwards. Okay.
Yeah, you know, the guy with the beer can listening to the football game. Rah, rah, rah. That's some Thomas.
Right. Well, no, and because I know that, like each person can have too much of one of them. And then that's when we're out of balance, right? If we have too much Thomas energy or too much Rod, that's all again about the balance, which is related to all of this, right?
Yeah,
Having the mother energy and the father energy in balance, right?
yes. And it
Balance, or
generally
you could
goes-
call it, sorry.
Yeah,
Catherine.
no, go ahead.
Well, but you could call it balance, but as long as what you're talking about is the center point, not balance like this, but closer to the center, the
Right,
still point.
right,
So when we're in the still point, that's balance.
right.
Yeah.
But it can also relate back to what we witnessed as kids. So if we're more attached to the mother or more attached to the father, that can create that imbalance within us as well. And yeah, and Albert does go on to say that. He says it's really important to do the work around the masculine and the feminine energy, whatever we've witnessed, so that we're not more attached to one than the other. And then that helps with the balance in our breath too, so that it's more fluid. Yeah.
Now, I hate to bring this up. It's probably more confusing than helpful, but I was thinking about the gospel Thomas. Is he related to this at all? Steve?
That's a good question.
The gospel according to Thomas.
Yeah. Well,
What
it's
you're-
just because you mentioned Thomas as part of this.
Oh, I see. No. There's the word Thomas as in the name Thomas,
Okay.
but this is actually spelled Thamas. It's not, it doesn't refer to Thomas, the gospel writer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody gets it wrong the first time.
But it could have, what was the meaning of Thomas? Like the
Lethargy.
lethargy. So who knows, maybe the book of Thomas is full of that too.
Well, he was doubting Thomas, so
Well, there you go.
I saw his body in Madras. Well, I saw his casket in Madras. He went to India and lived in Madras, I guess. He was buried there. It's quite interesting.
Is that where he wrote the book?
I don't know. Yeah. It's a good book though.
Did anyone else have any questions about the breath or working with the mother or the father energy or anything? No, it's quiet.
Okay, I have another question.
Oh, good. Okay.
So the other thing I didn't know about was, I know about black holes, but I didn't know about white holes. What does that refer to?
Well, it's something I don't think our scientists have figured out yet, but
Okay.
it's connected to interdimensional travel. So
Okay.
a black hole, like one of the ships can go through the black hole and get to other universes quite quickly. Like it's for travel, very fast travel, or another planet, or yeah. So therefore, he called it intradimensional travel. Yeah, for the ships. Yes, Steve.
The Arcturians, we talked about this way back in 2014. The black hole, say the black hole's on the third dimension, something goes into it. The white hole's on the fifth dimension, we'll say, and the ship comes out.
Okay.
And by
That's
the
the other
way,
end of it. That you said so it's the other end of it?
yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, when we say it's the other end of it, the black hole has another end called the white hole on another dimension.
Oh, wow.
You come in, it's as if the black hole is the entrance and the white hole is the exit.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. No, I had no idea. I do know that black is all the colors and white is all the colors. And also I think deep violet too is all the colors. And I was doing a little bit of research about the colors actually, because I couldn't figure out what they were meant about the still point. And so I needed to go in and look and see what information I had about creation. And I thought, like, through the studies that I'd been using, that creation was golden. Like I wasn't thinking of it as blue for some reason. The mother's blue, but creation is all over that information about the mother's blue. So there's blue creation from the mother and the father creation as well. But the father creation, actually, I can show you the information. Is anyone interested in the colors right now to see?
Sure.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can. It's really quite interesting. It's just one page. Let's see.
While you're getting that up, maybe I can just mention that the father is still as seen from the dimension of material existence, but
Mhm.
as seen from the standpoint of the transcendental or the absolute, the father is not still. Love flows all through the father. And that is not still.
Yeah, okay, so here, emerald green is the color of love, the heart, 13th octave, and I can post this, I'll post this on my site as well, if anyone's interested. Divine union, so that would be the union between the mother and the father creates the green. Charity, which we studied with Saint Francis. Compassion, and it's for all healing and regeneration. Love is the fuel, the fiber, the material, the essence of one and the entire universe. St. Francis says, eat green for the vibration of regeneration, love. So then the tri-flame, which is blue, pink, and there's a little tiny bit of silver in the pink and gold in the heart chakra. So blue is the mother's nurturing, creation, hope, which is all about balance, the bedrock of the balance between the mother and the father, forgiveness, healing of everything, trust, change, peace, and deeper peace is serenity. The pink is the wholeness of our divinity, grace, self-love, forgiveness, gentleness, acceptance, awakening, bliss, and it is the frequency of joy. Silver is clarity. Silver is in beauty along with magenta, which creates harmony. It's in truth, and then truth that tinges of pink and lilac. Silver is the gentleness of true strength of the divine feminine. So it's very much a divine feminine color as well. Abundance, connection, protection, the stillness, and our knowing. So that's silver. And then the gold is the father, the silence, the still point, creation, the quality of joy, awe, protection, trust, ecstasy, self-worth. So here's the self-worth, and there's the self-love. So interesting that that's part of joy as well. Balance, gold is balance and used when working with the universal laws. And then the colors of the ray of gold go from lemon yellow, saffron yellow, shiny gold, that's the shiny gold of Sanat Kumara, and then to the old Florentine burnished gold of Archangel Gabriel. So you can see the colors are very much connected to our healing, just understanding them. You can breathe the colors in and breathe the colors out. It's another, I mean, I feel very connected to the colors when I can see the colors, and makes it easier for me to understand. Okay, so let's just go out. Okay. Back here. There we go. So yeah, you can see there's lots of information embedded in all the colors. Yep, and when I loved it when I really found the creation, the patterning of the mother. The blue is definitely a creation as well as the gold, and the gold is more the still point. The mother is more the movement, the blue movement. the movement of the breath. The Father is more the stillness, the still point. But then in equal measure, when you think of us creating gender equality on the planet, we want our masculine and feminine energies balanced within the self to help create that without on the planet. The more balanced we are, the more in love we are with the masculine, going right back to dad, going right back to mom, the feminine. That's a good little litmus test when we bring up our early caregivers and just see how we feel about them, because that's really the examples that we learn from early life. And we may be stuck in the in-breath, still holding experiences from then. So really, it's a great starting point there. If you feel any kind of a little off about mom or dad, good to just go back in and do the forgiveness and the compassion and the gratitude to balance the self. Because it's never, if you're struggling with somebody in the present, it's never this person. It's usually the same belief systems that we haven't let go from early childhood. So anybody that, if we get triggered, if we get angry about something, it's never is, things are not as they seem here. It's all connected to the old belief systems. And if someone's carrying similar belief systems that we haven't let go, we could get very triggered. Yeah. But I love Albert's information. I'm really happy. I'm going to be working with him next week, but we'll go into all the different dimensions, how he describes them. And it's very simple. It's not complicated at all. And he talks about the in-breath and the out-breath through the different chakras and dimensions. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. He likes using the breath, and I haven't done a lot of breath work, but I'm thinking maybe I should be doing more. There's some really good apps on the internet, or you can download them onto your phone that are just breath work practices. And now that we have the real knowing of breathing in the blue, holding the stillness in the yellow, breathing out the green, it could make the breath work quite exciting, actually. And then bringing in different aspects of self that you're working on, or like for me, I would be thinking of our Vancouver's downtown east side, or I had some big ones that I was working on today. I can't think of what they were. Oh, just GMO foods, or anything that's not of love that's happening on planet that could use some love. Sort of like what we do on Tuesdays. Yeah. Okay. Does that feel like that's enough for that one? Okay, let me just turn off the recording.